Good morning. Today we turn our attention to a story that has sent shockwaves through North Carolina and beyond. A story that challenges our faith in the very people elected to serve us. In public service, trust is everything. It's the invisible contract between leaders and the people they represent, the foundation on which our communities are built. When that trust is called into question, the consequences ripple through every corner of society. When it's broken, the impact is felt far and wide. Neighbors talk in hushed tones, parents worry about their children, and headlines dominate the morning news. The sense of security and stability that citizens rely on can quickly give way to uncertainty and doubt. This week, North Carolina is reeling after State Representative Cecil Brockman, a decade-long lawmaker known for his advocacy and public service, was arrested on multiple felony charges involving a minor. The news has left many stunned, as Brockman was seen as a fixture in the state's political landscape. The allegations are grave, shaking both his community and the state's political establishment. Leaders who once stood beside him are now grappling with how to respond, while residents are left searching for answers and reassurance. Brockman's arrest has prompted urgent questions about leadership, accountability, and the standards we expect from those in power. How do we hold our representatives responsible, and what safeguards are in place to protect the public? The case is still unfolding, with new details emerging daily. Reporters are working tirelessly to uncover the facts, while investigators sift through evidence and testimony to piece together what happened. In this chapter, we'll break down who Cecil Brockman is, the specific charges he faces, and how the investigation began. We'll explore his background, his role in the community, and the events that led to his arrest. We'll also look at the evidence that has come to light so far, the political fallout that's already begun, and what this means for Brockman's future, and for the future of North Carolina's government. As always, it's important to remember that these are allegations. Brockman is presumed innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. The legal process must run its course, and every individual deserves a fair trial. But the seriousness of the charges has already changed the conversation in Raleigh and beyond. Lawmakers, journalists, and citizens alike are debating what this means for the integrity of public office and the trust we place in our leaders. As the investigation continues and the story develops, we'll keep you updated with the latest information. Here's what we know so far, and what we'll be watching in the days ahead. To truly grasp the shock and gravity of this unfolding story, it's important to first understand the man at its center, Cecil Brockman. His journey through North Carolina politics has been marked by ambition, dedication, and a drive to make a difference. So, who is Cecil Brockman? He's not just another name in the headlines. He's a figure who, for nearly a decade, has shaped policy and debate in the state legislature. At 41 years old, Brockman has served as the Democratic state representative for Guilford County's District 60 since 2015. He's one of the few African-American lawmakers in the chamber, and his presence has been both historic and influential. Known for his progressive stances, Brockman has been a vocal advocate for issues like public education, affordable health care, and criminal justice reform. His committee work has put him at the center of key legislative decisions, and he's often seen engaging directly with constituents at community meetings and public forums. Over the years, he built a reputation as a responsive and accessible public servant. His ability to connect with voters and address their concerns helped him win re-election multiple times, solidifying his standing as a trusted leader in his district. Brockman's influence extended well beyond the walls of the legislature. He played a role in shaping state laws on education, healthcare, and public safety, often working across the aisle to find common ground. His efforts earned him respect from colleagues and community members alike. For many in Guilford County and across North Carolina, he was more than just a politician. He was a symbol of hope and progress. His supporters saw him as a champion for the underrepresented, someone who listened and took action. But today, the narrative has shifted dramatically. Instead of being recognized for his legislative achievements, Brockman's name is now tied to serious felony charges, allegations that threaten not only his career, but also his personal freedom and legacy. The community he once served is now left grappling with disbelief and confusion, trying to reconcile the public figure they admired with the man now at the center of a criminal investigation. Conversations are happening everywhere, from living rooms to local coffee shops, as people search for answers. The contrast between the trusted leader and the accused is stark and deeply unsettling. As the story unfolds, the question remains, Who is the real Cecil Brockman, and what will his legacy ultimately be? The charges against Brockman are among the most serious in North Carolina law. He faces 2 counts of statutory rape of a child aged 13 to 15, and 2 counts of taking indecent liberties with a child. The alleged victim is a 15-year-old, and the incidents reportedly occurred on August 15, 2025. The North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation led the inquiry, underscoring the gravity of the case. These charges, if proven, represent a profound breach of public trust. Lawmakers are expected to protect the vulnerable, not exploit them. The legal process will determine guilt or innocence, but the fallout has already begun. Brockman's future and reputation hangs in the balance. The community is watching closely. The investigation began with an unexpected 911 call made by Brockman himself. On October 5, 2025, he reported a missing 15-year-old using a location-sharing app to track them. This raised immediate red flags for law enforcement, prompting a deeper look into their relationship. Prosecutors allege Brockman met the teen on a dating app in May 2025, then arranged for them to move from Atlanta to live with him in North Carolina. What started as a missing person report quickly escalated into a criminal investigation. The North Carolina SBI took over, gathering evidence and interviewing witnesses. Within days, arrest warrants were issued, and the story exploded into public view. The case's origins are as troubling as the charges themselves. Investigators wasted no time securing Brockman's phone, a key piece of evidence. Prosecutors say they found 14 videos of illicit acts, some allegedly showing Brockman himself. This digital evidence forms the backbone of the prosecution's case. The investigation also uncovered troubling behavior after Brockman's arrest. The teen was hospitalized, and Brockman allegedly tried to contact them, even attempting to force his way into the hospital. Authorities say he used his status as a lawmaker to seek information about the victim's whereabouts. These actions raised further concerns about his conduct and led to a high bond. The evidence, both digital and behavioral, has intensified the case against him. Prosecutors are building a comprehensive case for court. The public's concern continues to grow. The political response was swift and unified. Leaders from both parties demanded Brockman's immediate resignation, citing the severity of the charges. The North Carolina Democratic Party and House Democratic leader Robert Reeves were among the first to call for him to step down. Republican leaders echoed the demand, emphasizing the need to protect the integrity of the legislature. The bipartisan consensus left Brockman with no political support. For lawmakers, the allegations crossed a line that made continued service impossible. The public and political pressure for his resignation was overwhelming. Trust in public office, they agreed, must come first. After his arrest, Brockman's legal journey began under extraordinary circumstances, drawing the attention of both the public and the media. The courthouse quickly became a focal point, with law enforcement and legal teams preparing for what would become a highly scrutinized case. Initially, Brockman was held without bond due to the severity of the charges. However, a sudden medical emergency led to his hospitalization, adding another layer of complexity to the proceedings. Instead of appearing in person, he made his first court appearance virtually, speaking to the judge and attorneys from his hospital bed via video call, while medical staff monitored his condition. During the hearing, prosecutors presented a detailed account of the evidence collected so far, including witness statements, forensic reports, and digital communications. They also described Brockman's alleged attempts to contact the victim, which raised concerns about potential witness tampering and the safety of those involved. In response, the judge set a substantial bond of $1,000 and $50,000, reflecting the seriousness of the allegations. A strict no-contact order was imposed, forbidding Brockman from reaching out to the victim or any witnesses, either directly or indirectly. Any violation of this order would result in immediate rearrest and potentially even harsher legal consequences, underscoring the gravity of the situation. Looking ahead, Brockman's next court date is scheduled for November 13, 2025. This probable cause hearing will determine whether there is enough evidence for the case to proceed to trial, and it is expected to be a pivotal moment in the legal process. In the meantime, both the prosecution and defense are preparing for a complex legal battle. This involves filing motions, reviewing new evidence, interviewing witnesses, and strategizing for what could be a lengthy and high-profile trial. Legal teams on both sides are working tirelessly, anticipating challenges and preparing arguments, knowing that the outcome could have far-reaching implications. The community is watching closely, aware that the verdict will not only determine Brockman's fate, but also influence public trust in the justice system and the sense of safety within the community. As the case moves forward, the eyes of North Carolina, and indeed the nation, remain fixed on the unfolding events, waiting to see how justice will be served. With felony charges and bipartisan calls for resignation, Brockman's political future is all but over. If he resigns, the local Democratic Party will nominate a replacement, who will be officially appointed by the governor. If he refuses, the General Assembly can initiate impeachment, a rare but likely step given the circumstances. Either way, his continued service is untenable. The focus now shifts to ensuring District 60 has representation and restoring trust in the legislature. The process for selecting a new representative will be closely watched. Political leaders are determined to move forward and repair the damage. The community is eager for new leadership and a return to stability. Brockman's departure is seen as inevitable. The search for his successor has already begun. The Brockman case has shaken North Carolina's political landscape. A trusted lawmaker now stands accused of the gravest crimes, leaving a community in shock. The bipartisan demand for accountability underscores the seriousness of the allegations. As the legal process unfolds, the focus is on justice for the victim and restoring public trust. The presumption of innocence remains, but the impact on public perception is profound. The coming months will determine both Brockman's fate and the future of District 60's representation. This case will be remembered as a turning point, a sobering reminder of the responsibilities of public office. The community waits, hoping for justice and a path forward.